Man, this is just getting worse and worse. Like just yesterday, I think the death toll was 71. Now it's over 100. This really is a disaster. Like initially when I first started hearing about it, I just thought, okay, it's a serious flooding issue. You know, surely it's not going to be, another massive cause of casualties, but over 100 dead now, and that number's probably still going to rise. It makes me think, how big were these floods? Like how much water? Like what caused it? Was it a dam? Like, because for me, for this scale of death, like, and destruction, it sounds like a dam burst or something.
Search and rescue efforts continue in the deadly hill country flooding disaster.
Never have I ever seen it this bad.
As the community begins a long road to recover, questions over Kerr County's alert system continue.
Hindsight. If we could go back and do it again, we would evacuate particularly those in the most vulnerable areas.
We are following the
But why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that immediately anyway? Like,
very latest as sadly the death toll continues to rise. News 4 San Antonio at 5 starts right now.
News 4 San Antonio at 5. We're here for you.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We continue our coverage on the hill country flooding disaster.
We've been here for you with the latest updates on the tragedy. And tonight, as we come on the air just moments ago, we learned more people have died from this tragedy. So the updated numbers show that in Kerr County alone, there are now 84 confirmed deaths. 56 of those are adults, 28 are children.
damn, 28 kids. Fuck, man.
More than 800 people have been evacuated from along the Guadalupe River. Kerr County says still 10 girls from Camp Mystic and one counselor remain unaccounted for. Camp Mystic released a statement saying they are grieving the loss of 27 campers and counselors.
Now for Texas as a whole, at least 104 people are confirmed dead. That includes 6 deaths in Kendall County. We also know that President Donald Trump is expected to visit Central Texas this.
I just want to know, like, how this happened, like, because why weren't people told to get to safe places to evacuate? What like, it seems like there was maybe too much of a gap between we know about this flood that's going to happen and then letting people know to sort of leave their homes and stuff.
Friday.
Tonight, as we have the last few days, we have crews across the area ready to cover the very latest updates. We're talking with public officials about the latest efforts and speaking with people who have been affected.
Let's go ahead and start tonight with News 4 San Antonio's Matt Roy, who joins us live from Kerrville. He has a story of a family whose home was ravaged by the floods there. Matt, good evening.
Yeah, Jonathan, Mandy, good evening to you. Now, you might not believe this, but right now, this used to all be trees just like this one right here in front of me. But because of the deadly floodwaters that uprooted basically all of these, all the trees that used to be right here, all over to the right-hand side of me right now.
Wow.
So the floodwaters came up about 30 feet all the way to the house that you see behind me. The floodwaters went so far that it nearly destroyed the 100-year home that this family has been living in.
Wow.
In Kerrville, floods are a part of life. So in the early hours of Friday morning, Austin Donahue thought it was just business as usual.
I see. So Kerrville gets a lot of floods, so it's something that they're kind of used to, but it seems like this one was like a bad one, like a real bad one.
Heard the water, not uncommon being on the river, and I went and ate a piece of pie and drank coffee.
But it didn't take long for that pie to turn to panic.
I knew it was something abnormal when I saw at the level it was at, a house roof come by and a car.
Never have I ever seen it this bad. Nothing transpired.
Did he just say a house roof came by his house? So he saw a roof of a house floating by his house. That's crazy. Can you imagine seeing that?
Nothing ever occurred to where it was a wall of water as the magnitude as it was.
And in the panic of trying to leave the house, Travis's mom slipped and fell and broke her shoulder.
Oh,
she had
man.
surgery Monday morning.
And I didn't think it would ever happen to us, but of course you never know. Yeah, it's just devastation.
The aftermath is just that, devastation. The antiques, the family heirlooms, the house that this family has made a home over the past 100 years, destroyed in a matter of moments.
Just having to go into your house and, see, walk on things you love and hearing them break, not being able to see anything, and just it's just total loss is what the problem is, and you know, it's a shock at the time.
Is there like a government fund that's put aside for natural disasters like this? Because to me, there should be, there should be. Like, these people pay taxes. At the end of the day, this was completely not their fault. This is nature. And I guess you could say, oh, they live on the river. They should be aware of the risk. But still, I mean, this, look at the damage, like the cleanup. They're going to have to replace so much furniture. They've lost stuff forever.
But in the face of tragedy, community always shows up to fight. Volunteers from the family's church brought food, water, and helped clean up the devastation that the floods left behind.
It means the world to me. It touches my heart. When people come together, it's amazing. I feel the Lord coming through everybody, everything that's happening.
Poor guy, man.
Now, even while my photographer Colton and I were here at the home today, they offered us a plate of food too, and it's that.
Wow, look at that. He's probably lost a bunch of family stuff and photos, and he's like offering them food and stuff. Like, that's that hospitality, that's Southern hospitality, right? Texans watching this, you guys doing all right? You guys doing well? Really, really do send my my thoughts and prayers, genuinely.
That type of kindness that gives the community of Kerrville and the surrounding communities hope for the future. Reporting in Kerrville, I'm Matt Roy, News 4 San Antonio.
Tonight we get an exclusive look at the damage in Hunt.
That's right. News 4 San Antonio's Taylor Wharton spoke to one man there and joins us now with the very latest.
We were able to get an exclusive look here in Hunt, Texas, here with Frank Siphon, who has lived here for a good portion of his life. He was able to show us the extent of the damage here on his ranch.
My property line starts over there by that far brush pile. It goes all the way to the river, and then it goes all the way back to this big hill back up here, and then over there by that hill. Taylor, you can see.
So water did this? Like, water did this? This looks like a tornado did this.
This debris pile over here is absolutely huge. My house was literally right up here in front of these pecan trees by that telephone pole. Had my house been there now, it would not have survived. The fence, I've got some fence left back over here by that hill. Everything else was either severely damaged or destroyed. So starting this afternoon, I actually have heavy equipment coming in. We will start dozing out all that fence. Right over here, do you see the two people standing next to the white truck?
Yes.
That's where my gate was. And that gate withstood with no problem the floods of 69, 78, 87, and 02. No problem.
Not this one.
My gate's gone. My gate is completely gone. Look how, it's twisted.
So yeah, this one was really bad then. I mean, this flood was really bad. Jeez, like, is it me, or over the last couple of years, the amount of natural disasters, whether it's floods or hurricanes or tornadoes, is it getting worse? Are we getting more? Like, what do you guys think? I feel like we're hearing about more of these. Do you remember Idalia and all the other ones?
Right into the tree.
It is. It is. Right now, what we need are people to pray for these people, because I personally, I can't imagine what it's going through to not only know that your child is deceased, but they can't find it. They can't find them.
Siphon says, yes, there is a lot of damage here, but they will rebuild and come back even stronger. I'm Taylor Wharton reporting.
What could have been done differently? And are there lessons that can be learned? Of course, and that's true of every natural disaster. A question everyone is asking. It is, why were the girls, particularly the young girls who were in the cabins right on the riverbank, why were they not evacuated earlier?
So answer the question then. Why weren't they? Why weren't they?
Senator Ted Cruz talking today about the deadly flooding in the hill country there, appearing to reference specifically Camp Mystic. And tonight we dig deeper into the response and weather alert systems in Kerr County.
News 4 San Antonio's Jay Avila spoke to officials there in Kerr County. He joins us with the very latest tonight. Jay?
Because, I mean, if you were the parents of those girls, you'd be asking, I'd be screaming those questions. Why were they not evacuated? Did people not do their job properly? Is there criminal negligence going on here? If you're in a position of responsibility, you need to do your job, right? What do you guys think?
Well, I interviewed Kerr County Sheriff Larry Latha, who has been here all his life, served with the DPS for 25 years and as sheriff for 5 years. He says it's a misconception that they have alarms or some kind of high-tech warning system for flooding here. He says it's common for deputies to be sent to check the water level and the flood gauges here, although after this tragedy he expects that to change. Is there any kind of early warning system when things get to flood stage?
No, there is no, and a lot of people aren't from here don't know. There is no alarms, anything like that.
But why not? There should clearly be some kind of sensor so that when the water levels rise and they hit a certain threshold, an alarm goes off. To me, this is like common sense. Like, it wouldn't even be that hard to do. Like, you know those sensors that you can put in your front yard so that if anybody walks on your front yard, like an alarm goes off. Just put one of those, at a certain level on the riverbed.
We have flood control like 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet above that. There's markers like that, but there is no kind of system that gives you any kind of warning.
Can you think of anything that might help us reduce fatalities?
Well, it would be some type of alarm system. It would have to be. On a positive note, I just left just like I said, left the lieutenant governor. He just had a meeting prior to coming down here with the governor. They're going to be having a special session. In that special session, they're going to talk about maybe funding some of those systems for counties and cities.
Man, are you telling me that with all the money that Texas has, at its disposal, that it generates, it can't think of some kind of way for it to develop an alarm system to stop this? Come on, we got to do better.
At an earlier briefing, they told us hundreds of search crews, helicopters, boats, and dogs are conducting a massive search over 100 kilometers from Hunt all the way to Comal County and Canyon Lake. And as we've told you for days, they've had people all over Texas notifying them by phone and by email about missing loved ones who were camping on the 4th of July. And so they haven't been able to come up with even a round figure, though, of how many people they're actually looking for. Live from Kerrville, I'm Jay Avila, back to you.
Jeez,
and what exactly was the timeline of alerts sent out before this happened? We have that breakdown coming up tonight at 6.
Tonight we are learning more about the victims. UTSA has confirmed the death of psychology professor Catherine Eads. The university is remembering her as an extraordinary educator. Her family says she was an incredible wife, mother, and grandmother who spent her life helping kids. It's also believed Eads and her husband were spending the holiday weekend together along the Guadalupe River. UTSA says there is also believed to be 2 UTSA students who are still missing from those floods.
And for more on what we know about the victims and those still missing, let's get to Emma Allen at the live desk.
Well, those missing range from all ages, and today Mary Grace Baker, who is set to start 3rd grade this year.
Damn, 3rd grade. So what is she, like 6 or something years old?
Year is still missing. Mary Grace was at Camp Mystic when the devastating flood came through the area. She attends St. Anne Catholic Church in Beaumont and is set to start 3rd grade in the fall. The school posting on social media saying they lift up Mary Grace as well as others who are still unaccounted for, the victims and first responders, in their prayers. The St. Anne Catholic Church in Beaumont will hold a prayer event tomorrow at 6 p.m. in honor of the victims and those missing. And Robert and Joni Brake, a couple from Abilene, are still missing after the flood. The couple was staying in a cabin for the 4th of July holiday, visiting their son who lives in an RV near the Guadalupe River. When floodwaters hit the area, family went to check on the Brakes in their cabin, but it was washed away by the time they arrived. The son of Robert and Joni asking for prayers and hoping for the best possible outcome. We're told this was the couple's first visit to Kerrville. That is the latest from the live desk.
Well, tonight we are also looking at the flooding in other parts of the state in Williamson County. That's going to be north of Austin. 2 bodies have been recovered there. In Brit County, which is just northwest of Austin, 4 deaths have been confirmed.
Jeez, man. It's just like whenever I see pictures like this, I think, wow, this water, like I wouldn't have thought water could do this, but I suppose if this house is made of wood, yeah, I suppose the water will get in the wood and rot it down.
In Travis County, 7 people are confirmed dead. The community of Sandy Creek has also been hit by the recent flooding. One resident, Auburn Gallagher, says she's doing everything she can to support her neighbors. Her community has nothing, she says, and they're almost cut off from the rest of their county.
We had no warning. Nobody notified us. 2:30 in the morning, people that could get out came to this parking lot. Nobody was here. No firefighters, no police, nobody. We did not see Travis County sheriffs until 10 o'clock the next morning, who were rolling through and saying you all need to evacuate.
Yeah, I think when questions need to be answered here, guys, what do you guys think? I think more could have been done for sure.
Our local church is serving as a distribution point for water and other supplies that Gallagher and other residents have been able to collect for those in need.
Well, following all of the aftermath and devastation, many people may be wondering how exactly can they help out.
News 4 San Antonio's Ethan Trejo has the latest now from Kerrville to see how volunteers and donation efforts are going.
I'm here at the Salvation Army Center in Kerrville. I've heard volunteers today say that the amount of people stepping up to support the community has been incredible and abundant, so much so that they're running out of space for all of the donations that they're receiving. Hundreds of cars lined up to donate even more supplies today. Hector Sanchez, a Canyon Lake resident, was one person who was donating. This isn't his first time supporting relief efforts, and that's why he's on his second round of donations today.
I donated some diapers, cases of water, multiple groceries, stuff that doesn't go bad, canned goods, energy bars, stuff, like I said, that won't go bad. And I just went to H-E-B, got some more stuff, and we'll make a round two.
And
great dude, great guy, but hopefully the government steps in here. The government really should be stepping in here and looking after the people, I think.
a number of other groups are looking to help as well. Others looking to support are also working with search and recovery efforts in Center Point. The Salvation Army is encouraging anyone who wants to volunteer with relief assistance to go onto their website and sign up at salvationarmyusa.org or call them at 830-465-4797. In Kerrville, I'm Ethan Trejo.
Well, back at the live desk, the family of Joyce Baden, a 21-year-old who went missing after the catastrophic flooding in the Texas Hill Country, has found her body. The family saying, "We found our lovely daughter who blessed us for 21 years. We pray to be able to find her 3 friends pictured there soon." Those friends, Ella Cahill, Aiden Hartfield, and Reese Manchaca, are still missing. Joyce's mom says the group went to hunt to spend July 4th with her friends, and they were staying in a home on a hill along the river. And Blair and Brooke Harbor's sisters, who were just 13 and 11 years old, have passed away. The aunt of the girls posting to a GoFundMe saying when the girls were found, their hands were locked together. The father of the girls confirming the sisters went missing during the flooding along with their grandparents. The father says Blair, the taller sister, picture on the left, was known to be a gifted student with a generous, kind heart. And Brooke on the right was like any light in any room. People gravitated to her and made them laugh, and she made them laugh and enjoy the moment. Brooke and Blair's grandparents are still missing at.
Dude, this is terrible, man. Like, I don't, I know that right now we should be focusing our efforts on like search and rescue and everything like that, but I feel like, if people had known about this as soon as the risk was there, the death toll wouldn't be anywhere near this. It wouldn't have been, because people would have gotten away. If you had some kind of sensor that when the water, when a body of water of a certain amount moved beyond a certain point, everybody within 10 miles got a text message saying extreme flood risk, move further away from this point. This death toll would have been way, way less. I mean, you've got third graders, that are passing away. Like, this is just so horrible and messed up and sad. It really, really is. Yeah, questions definitely need to be answered here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy my videos, please help me out by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.